Yo, it is your boy, Adam Coe, back here with another prospect video. We did 30 to 16 in the last video. If you haven't checked that video out, I will post it below. I need you to check that out first because that list has a lot of good players. But this list I'm about to present you with, you should be excited if you're a San Francisco Giants fan. So I'll go right into it. I'll name the player. I'll do their college, their high school, where they're from, their country, how old they are, what year I expect them to show up in the major leagues, their height, their weight. I'll say some things about them, and I'll compare them to a player that I think that they will end up being in the future. So I know that's what you guys all want to hear. So we'll get right into it. San Francisco Giants fans, get excited, get your drink, sit down, relax, and listen to your boy Adam Coe. Here we go. Number 15, Nick Sweeney, left-handed pitcher, North Carolina State, 21 years old. North Carolina State, you're going to hear that a lot today. Patrick Bailey, we just drafted. Will Wilson, I will also announce in a little bit as well. North Carolina State, we have a bunch of those guys. That's good. It's a good school. 6'3", 187, left-handed pitcher. This guy is a gamer. This guy is a winner and a gamer. He just pounds the zone. He's got plus changeup. He's got a little slurve action. His fastball sits around 90 to 93, but he was also a reliever at some point during North Carolina State. They kind of had the same, they didn't know reliever, starter, what are you going to be? So that's why his draft stock dropped a little bit. A lot of teams didn't know if he's going to be a starter or a reliever, and they didn't really want to pull the trigger on him. Giants got him in, a little later in the third round, and we'll take him. Nick Sweeney, welcome to the Giants. We don't know if you're going to be a starter or reliever either. We expect you to arrive maybe 2023. That could go up if you're a reliever. Sometimes relievers go a little faster up the minor league system, so we'll see what happens. He has a little funky delivery too. You guys are really gonna like that. Watch some film on Nick Sweeney because he's kind of a funky guy. He's got a little attitude on the mound, which I like. I compare him. I think I got this one on the money. I compare him to Kyle Freeland, a guy that we see a bunch on the Colorado Rockies. Had a really good rookie year with the Rockies. Kind of shaky last year. They sent him down to AAA, and this year he's back at it, dealing. So Nick Sweeney, compared to Kyle Freeland, if you end up like Kyle Freeland, we'll be very happy. So like I said, if he goes to relief, maybe he sits more 95, 96, but a left-handed starter, and every team wants that. So we'll see how Nick Sweeney does. Great start to the list. Nick Sweeney, 15. Let's keep going. Number 14, Jiro Pena. Outfielder, 20 years old, out of Cuba. Those Cuban guys are some good ball players. 6'1", 185, and that's just going to keep going up. He's only 20 years old, like I said. He was from the same class, draft class, where we got Luciano and Luis Matos, and those guys also are really good. We'll talk about those guys later. Really exciting players. He's just solid across the board. 50s across the board. Great average at Sam Kaiser last year. One of the most pure hitters in the farm system. I could watch this guy hit all day long, and I did for about 20 minutes last night. We'll just keep watching video on him when I'm making this list. So he's got a really short swing, and the power's just going to come. I think he only had 4 or 5 home runs at Salem Kaiser, but his average was high. So he gets that 185 to like more 200 pounds. The power's going to start coming. He's going to be able to play in the outfield. He can play all positions in the outfield, center, right, left. He's playing a little center right now. And I think he could stay there, but you never know. So if he gets a little more baggage, he gets more pop, he could go to right field or left field, depending on what the Giants want to do with him. The guy I compared him with, a guy that, different position, but the swing, I just couldn't get this guy's name out of my head when I was watching his film. Didi Gregorius, left-hander, just like Jiro, and he just got a nice short stroke, and the ball flies off his bat, just like Didi Gregorius. So I'm not going to say this guy is Didi Gregorius. Doesn't play the same position, but very exciting player to watch. I estimate him to arrive 2023. That's the same thing I said about Nick Sweeney, and you're going to hear that a lot. 2023 is a year Giants should get excited about. Most of these guys I expect to show up around that time. Obviously, some guys take a little longer than others, and some earlier than others. Like I said, some people could be up this year, next year, and some are already in the pros. So that's Jiro Pena, number 14. Let's keep going. Number 13, a guy that we all know, a guy that we're starting to love a little bit, and he's back down. I think we sent him back down. Jalen Davis, outfielder, 26 years old, a little older now, He doesn't really have an estimated arrival. He's already up, and we've seen him. He played a lot last year after the Sam Dyson trade. At the trade deadline, we brought him up, and he had a bunch of at-bats at the end of the year. Struggled a bit. He had that one home run at the last game of the year that we remember. And he's got pop, man. He has got pop. I'll get right into his comparison. This is Chris Davis. I see a bunch of Chris Davis in him. His opposite field approach is unreal. He's got a bunch of pop. Doesn't really look like he's swinging that hard, and the ball just flies off his bat. So Jalen Davis, very exciting player. He's got plus power, plus speed, plus arm. He's got it all. But he hasn't really brought that to the major league level. Major league pitching is a different species. So I mean, he's done everything he could do in the minor leagues, and the Giants are just waiting for that to translate to the major league. So we'll see if that happens soon. Depending on how the Giants do this next couple of weeks, if they're struggling and they're out of playoff contention, I can see them bringing Jalen Davis up to get more at bats to see how he does. At the moment, we don't really need him, especially with Austin Slater coming up again from injury. We don't really need that right-handed bat, but he's a guy that we all are rooting for. I know we all are. I am for sure. He just needs to make more contact. And once he starts making more contact and having a better two-strike approach, I could see this guy stay in the major leagues for a long time. And it's going to be a steal. That Sam Dyson trade is going to be one of the worst trades in Twins history. Kind of get some payback for that A.J. Pierzynski trade back in the day. So that's Jalen Davis. We all know him. Let's go, Jalen. Work on that two-strike approach. You're up, baby. Number 12, a guy that we're all excited for. When we got him, we were like, how did we get this guy? Last year, Kyle Harrison, 19 years old, 6'2", 200 pounds. A 19-year-old high school guy, that size. They didn't have those guys in my high school. Unhittable in high school. Yeah, his ERA is like a 1. He had like 1 loss in his 4 years there. De La Salle guy, a really good high school as well. He was a UCLA commit, which is the reason why he dropped so low. And a lot of teams didn't think they could sign him because he was a UCLA commit, and they thought that he was going to go there. But the Giants just threw money at him. They threw money at him, and he couldn't resist it. So we got our guy, Kyle Harrison. Farhan pulled the strings. He planned for this, too. They planned for it. They, the second round pick, Casey Schmidt, that we talked about last prospect video, wasn't really the pick that we wanted there. The same with Jimmy Glowinski, but we got to underpay him for the slot, which gave us more money for Kyle Harrison, and we got our guy, a guy that they compared to Chris Sale, and I see a bunch of Chris Sale in this guy. He throws like 90, 93. He's got 4 out pitches, really good fastball, explosive fastball from the left side. He's got a really lights out slider and curveball, but maybe his best pitch is his changeup. So it's like a sinker, but he gets the changeup. So this guy's going to keep climbing the list. He's already number 12, and I could see him in the top 5 next year. He just needs to throw some innings in the minor leagues, and they're going to put him up. I already know it, because he's going to have success, and he's going to have success a lot, and he's going to be in the pros before we know it. 2024 is what they say. He might be more like 2023. This kid's ready. It's like a Madison Bumgarner guy. We brought him up really young. I could see this happening with this kid. Really exciting. Number 11, Will Wilson, another North Carolina State guy. 22 years old. He got drafted by the Angels the same year we drafted Hunter Bishop, 2019. Like 5 picks after Bishop. And I know Farhan wanted both these guys, Bishop and Wilson. We didn't get them, but we ended up with both a year later. So I know they're ecstatic to have both these guys in their prospect list, in their farm system. And this kid is exciting to watch. Please watch some film on this kid as well. 6 foot 184. You don't expect the pop, but this guy has really, really good pop. I could see him having 15 to 20 home runs, more like 20 home runs in the future. They have him as a shortstop, but I think he's going to play better at second. His speed isn't there. He's an average speed guy, but if you could hit home runs and doubles, who cares? That's all I got to say about this kid. We got him in the Cozart deal. We took Cozart's deal contract just to get Will Wilson, and we'll take it. Whatever. Pretty much paying to get Will Wilson. I'm fine with that. The guy that could be our second baseman for a long, long time. His comparison, a guy that I think I did pretty good on this one as well. Brian Dozier, a guy that hit a lot of bombs with the Twins. He had 30 or 40 bombs when he was in his prime. Obviously, he's declined a lot, and he's still trying to find his spot in the major leagues. But for about 5, 6, 7, 8 years, he was really a good second baseman. So I could see that from Will Wilson. Rooting for you guys. All these North Carolina State guys. Studs. All right, that's the first 5. Lock it in. Take another sip of your drink, whatever you're doing. Number 10, Sean Jelly with a silent H. Love it. Kentucky Wildcat. 23 years old. 6'11", 228 pounds. 6'11". I didn't know who to compare this guy to. I was like, I don't know, Randy Johnson? No, it's not Randy Johnson. I compare him to Doug Fisher. He was 6'8", Doug Fisher, tall guy, sinker ball guy. But this guy throws a little harder. He sits more like 95, 93, a little harder than Fisher was. Fisher had that deadly sinker. He doesn't really have a sinker, but he has big league stuff. Great command. His command is one of his power points. His fastball is a power fastball. His knuckle curve is his pitch, though. Fastball, knuckle curve, boom. That's all you need. He dominated San Jose. I was there for a couple games that he pitched in San Jose, and he's really fun to watch. The arm angle that he has from being 6'11" is a different angle that you never see from pitchers, and the guys were having a tough time seeing it. He's so high, it's coming down at you instead of from an angle. So I see him like a 3-4 starter. He could be more like a 2 guy. They have him in the pen for a little bit. Maybe he's a pen guy. I see him more as a starter, though. The only thing I have a problem with this guy is, will his body withstand 162 games and a bunch of starts? I don't know. Let's just use him while we can. That's why I have him going up next year at some point. His ERA has been great in San Jose and Augusta, but when he went to AA, he had a little bit more problems. So maybe start him in AA, work him into AAA, and hopefully has some good success, because we could definitely use Jelly in the future. I know everybody has him on their roster, on their rotation plans in the future. So really, really exciting player, a guy that you don't really see, a 6'11" guy every day. So really, really exciting. Number 9, Luis Matos, outfielder, 18 years old, out of Venezuela, 5'11", small guy, not the biggest guy. They have him written down as 160 pounds, but I read some things up on him. I follow some really smart guys on Twitter, and some insiders, and they have him. They said they had an interview with him, and he said he's at 195 now. That's 35 pounds increase since we saw him last. So that's a good thing. You always want your guys to get a little more bulk, and they say his power's going up, which they didn't really even need. He's cousins with Luis Basabe, a guy that I love in the last video, and a guy that already pinch ran for us earlier this year in the doubleheader. So cousins to that guy. I mean, we just got family relations. We got some friends, whatever. He's got a really good arm. He could work anywhere in the outfield. I can see him more as like a center fielder. He's a small guy, but he has a really good arm, so he could play anywhere. He batted 367 in 2 levels last year. Lower levels, but 367 is 367. He's still playing professional baseball, and he just pretty much does everything well. So don't really have to say much about this guy. I compare him, and I think this one's also good. My comparison's what I'm really proud of myself. I watch the film, and I take my time with this. I compare him to Starling Marte. Not the tallest guy, but he's fast. He's got pop. He hits for average, and this is exactly what Luis Matos does. I have estimated arrival, guess, 2023. And, I mean, he's only 18 years old, and he's already swinging it. So let's see him in San Jose. Let's see how he does in San Jose. See how he does in AA, like I said. And if he's still hitting the way he is, there's no reason to not rush him up a little bit, because he's ready. This kid is a baseball player. He's going to be really, really good for a long, long, long time. Another Luis, number 8, Luis Toribio, a guy we saw a little bit in the summer camp. They had him up for a little bit. They have him at third base right now. He's only 19 years old, out of Dominican Republic, 6'1", 165, but that's not right either. He's thick. He's thickened out a little bit. He's got a little bigger. Huge exit velocity. His exit velocity is going up, up, up. He hits the ball harder than anybody on the Giants right now, and this is a 19-year-old swinging. So they say he's the best pure hitter in the system. I've already said that about a couple guys, but he is. I saw him swing. He hits a lot of balls to right field. He's a pull hitter, pull power guy. But hey, if he could hit 20, 25 home runs from the third baseman spot, he's played a little second base as well, and they see him being a first baseman in the future. But that's good. You play every position. That's fine. Little utility guy that could hit for power. Ooh, I love it. He also has a great arm. Guy that plays third base, great arm. So putting him at first base, kind of a waste, but whatever fits the Giants best. I know we have a lot of, I see Luciano. I'll talk about Luciano later, but I see Luciano playing short. I have Will Wilson, second base. I don't know where he stands right now. The future only tells. The future will tell us. But this guy swings hard. That's all you got to know about this guy. He swings really, really hard. That's why I compared him to Juan Soto. I'm not going to say he's Juan Soto. He's not the same Juan Soto prospect that high, but he swings just like him. He's got the same kind of swing from the left side. Really exciting player this guy is. And that's pretty much what I'm going to say about all these players. They're all exciting because you watch the film on them, and we got a really good farm system, straight up. We just got a really, really good farm system. We had such a bad farm system for the last 5 years that seeing these fresh faces, these young guys, 18, 19-year-old guys, it's exciting to watch. This is what we had back when Bumgarner and Lincecum and Kane starting to come back this way. So Giants, strap up. We're getting ready, baby. Number 7, Alexander Canario. Probably my favorite prospect of all. I think this guy is a little underrated here at number 7. I think he could be higher. Next year he will definitely be in the top 5, or else I'm going to come for somebody. 6'1", 165. He's not 165. He's more like 180 right now. 20 years old out of Dominican Republic. Huge power. Huge power. That's all you can say about this guy. He hit like 16 home runs in 2 levels in like 58 games last year. Huge power. His average is good too. He's not like he's just hitting for power. He needs to limit the Ks a little bit. The Ks are a little high for my liking. Really good speed. 2023 is when I expect him to come up. I don't want to say it, but I compared him to Luis Robert. If he gains a little more muscle, he's going to be a Luis Robert kind of player. And a future All-Star. This guy could be a superstar. Canario is. He's got that much pop. So get excited for these players. I'm telling you, these Dominican Republic kids, Venezuelan, we have Cuban kids. They're coming out of nowhere. They're young. 20 years old, 19, 18, 20. Boom. That's number 7, Alexander Canario. Love you, buddy. Number 6, the guy we all just met last year, Patrick Bailey, North Carolina State catcher, 21 years old, 6'2", 207. That's pretty good, actually. That's really good size. He probably will go up a little bit, but 207 pounds, that's what he is. Switch hitting catcher. I'm going to compare him to Matt Wieters, another switch hitting catcher who had a lot of success in the major leagues as an Oriole, National. He's done it all. So Matt Wieters, if we can get a Matt Wieters out of Patrick Bailey, I'd be really excited. And what I think helped him a lot was going straight to that summer camp and catching guys like Cueto and all these Jeff Samars, all these veterans, and getting thrown right into it a little bit. I think that's what more guys need. And it was exciting to see him with Bart and the catchers. I wish Posey got to see him a little more, but he left already. But man, Patrick Bailey got the head start on everybody. Raw power from both sides. He draws walks too, so it's not like he's just a power guy. Draws walks, plus defender, best defender in the draft, and we got him. We got the guy that we wanted. He should stay as a catcher. I could see it once he comes up. I could see Joey Bart making that move to first base in the future. He's going to take a couple of years to get ready. He's not ready right now. We saw it in the summer camp. He was striking out a bunch. But what do you expect? He just came out of college. He's still only 21 years old. Give him 2 or 3 years, 23, 24, just like Joey Bart is, and he will be ready. He will be ready. I think he's going to be a better catcher than Bart is as well. And he was just the best player available in the draft, and they went for it. And I like that a lot about the front office there. They didn't, don't get a guy that isn't as good of a player as Patrick Bailey just because we have a catcher in Joey Bart. Like I said, Joey Bart can switch positions, or we could trade him. There's so many. Pick the best player you can pick, and he was definitely the best player there. And I like Patrick Bailey. I think he's going to be the catcher of the future. So see what happens. Future is very bright with the catcher position. Number 5, the guy that we all looking forward to come up. Excuse me, Seth Corey, left-handed pitcher, 21 years old, 6'2", 195. This is our best pitcher in the organization, hands down. He had a really, really good year last year, which all caught our eyes. We were all watching his. I know for sure I was. Every time he pitched, I was watching. I checked the box scores the next day if I couldn't watch it. Plus fastball, plus curveball, good changeup. And the control's just getting a lot better, especially last year. His control got a lot better. He lowered the walks. He was a former football player, so you see this guy pitch, he looks like a brick wall. He looks like Mike Trout pitching from the left side. He had a 1.76 ERA, like I said, in Augusta. I think he just needs 1 full year in the minor leagues. Give him 1 full year, maybe in AAA, start him in AAA, and see how he does. If he's tearing it up, why wait? I don't see it. Just throw the guy in there. He's built, and he really became a pitcher last year. Before then, he was just a thrower. He threw hard. He had a really, really good curveball. That's what got him drafted so high, was his curveball. That was his out pitch. But now he's a pitcher. He's hitting corners. He knows how to pitch, what pitches to throw in certain situations, what pitches he could throw with 2 strikes, with 2-1 pitches. Can he throw his changeup for a 2-1 count? He can now. He knows his stuff. So, guys I compared him to, I think these are all good too. Andrew Heaney came off right away. Boom, Andrew Heaney. A guy that hasn't really had success, but he was a top prospect for the Angels. And he's still pitching in the major leagues with decent success. Also, a guy that he was compared to was a young Matt Moore. Not the Matt Moore we saw as the Giants, a young Matt Moore, Tampa Bay Rays Matt Moore. I could see that definitely as well. Hard thrower plus curveball, that's what Matt Moore was. Also, Patrick Corbin came to my mind. Same size kind of guy. Corbin's got more of a slider. He's got more of a curveball rather than a slider. So that's the only difference between him and Corbin. But same size guy, 6'2", 195. I could watch this guy's film all day long. Seth Corey, really excited. Everybody's excited about that kid. Number 4, these top 4 guys, man. Whew. Hunter Bishop, outfielder, 22 years old, Arizona State. 6'5", 210 pounds. This guy is an animal. He has huge power. That's all I gotta say about this guy. He hit a bunch of bombs in Arizona State, and we knew what we were getting when we drafted him. A guy that's gonna come in. He's a really, really athletic guy for his 6'5", 210 frame. This guy can play all 3 positions in the outfield. He's got a really good arm. This guy was a wide receiver in high school, and he was getting recruited to play college football as a wide receiver, but he chose to play baseball, and he chose right because he's making a bunch of money, and he's going to be a great Major League Baseball player. He's only 22 still, so he's got room to grow. I see him more like 2022 than 2023 because of that, and he had years in college. He wasn't a high school guy, but I think the main thing for him is he needs to make a little more contact. He struck out a little too much last year in the minor leagues, and he just needs at-bats. That's all he needs. Get him some minor league at-bats against some good pitchers, and just see him grow. That's all he needs because we know that power is there. Hunter Bishop, we're all looking forward to your arrival in San Francisco. Guys I compare him to, other big guys that are having success in the major leagues. Joey Gallo, kind of first thing I thought of, but Joey Gallo is a little bigger, but he's also athletic. Like Joey Gallo can play all 3 positions. I hope he doesn't have the swing and miss like Joey Gallo. He swings and misses a lot, but he also has huge power. So if we can get Joey Gallo power out of Hunter Bishop, I'm down. But another guy that's having a bunch of success this year is Jesse Winker from the Reds, a guy that was a high prospect, had a tough couple years, and they didn't really know what to do with him. But this year, he's turning into a MVP candidate, hitting a bunch of bombs in Cincinnati, and I can see him. Yeah, he's also like a 6'4" guy. So it's Hunter Bishop. That's number 4. Number 3, Elliot Ramos, outfielder, 20 years old. He's only 20. I feel like we've had this guy forever, and we have. 6 foot, 188. This guy is a beast. I saw him in spring training a couple of years ago. Got his autograph, talked to him a little bit. First thing he said is he doesn't speak great English, but he was like, "How'd you know? That was me." I said, "Dude, any good Giants fan should know who you are." I really think this guy is gonna be our best prospect of all. He looks like a young Cespedes. That's what I compare him to. A young Cespedes. His legs are tree trunks. He's got the speed. He's got the crazy good arm. We've seen that in spring training. Huge arm, huge power, great speed, but he's just athletic. He's just an athletic baseball player. He hits the ball to all fields. I saw him hit a lot in San Jose. hit balls off the right center field the wall, but he also can pull a ball 450 feet to left field. So he knows how to hit. He's a really, really good hitter. He can draw a walk. He needs to limit the strikeouts just a little bit as well. But once he does that, he's up, man. I think he could be up the major leagues right now, but I know what they're doing. They saw Bart struggle a little bit. Let's wait until next year, a fresh year, maybe make the team out of spring training. Really hope so. They have him in right field. He could play center field, but I think he's going to be more like a right fielder just because of his arm. And he's ready. He's ready. Maybe it really hurt him not having this year. A lot of these guys got hurt with the coronavirus, but he is ready. Another guy I compare him to, I said Cespedes, but also a guy that's having great success this year, just like Winker did with Hunter Bishop, is Teoscar Hernandez with the Blue Jays. A guy that had, was really highly praised. He was an Astro, and then he got traded to the Blue Jays. Kind of been struggling, but this year he's panning out. He's hitting a bunch of home runs. I think he has like 10 already. And he has success. Right field, strong arm, same kind of guy as Elliot Ramos. So I saw that a lot out of Teoscar Hernandez. Love Elliot Ramos. Really, really exciting player. Number 2, the guy we all can't wait to see, Marcoluciano. Shortstop, 18 years old, Dominican Republic. 6'2", 178, but he ain't 178 either. This kid's almost 200 pounds. He is a brick, and he has the best power of all the farm system. Even with Joey Bart, I think he has more power than Joey Bart. Not as big as Joey Bart, but he has just as much power. They even say he could be close to 40 home runs by the end of his career, like in his prime. We'll see if that pans out. We got a stud here. I know he's going to be a stud. Everybody knows he's going to be a stud, and I'm excited to see him show up in the major leagues. He's got superstar talent. I compared him to a guy that we all know, Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod. Some of you guys are probably shaking your head, but once you see this guy play a little bit, you'll know what I'm talking about. Really, really high power, a lot of power, but his shortstop ability at his size, 6'2", taller guy, he could throw from every angle, make plays in the hole. He's got really, really good arm. I think he's going to end up, that's why I say A-Rod, because I think he's going to end up being a third baseman in the future and hit more home runs once he gains a little more weight, like A-Rod did as well. He moved to third base. Just don't take steroids like him. Great arm, great athlete, great IQ for his age, too. He's only 18, but he's got the IQ already to play in the major leagues. I estimate him to arrive in 2022. Only 18. If we can get this guy up by 20 years old, I love to see it. I love to see it. Maybe a teenager for this kid if he has such a good spring training and good year next year. Marcoluciano, excited to see you. Last one, guy we've seen this last week and a half, 2 weeks, Joey Bart. Doesn't need an introduction. 6'2", 238, 23 years old, and this kid is a stud. Georgia Tech guy, huge power to all fields. We've seen that already. Great arm. We've seen that as well from his knees. He just needs at-bats. His strikeouts are the thing that is hurting him so far. He has like 35 at-bats and he has like 16 strikeouts. So once he limits the strikeouts, sees some more pitching, he's going to be fine. We already saw in the Rockies series, he's starting to loosen up a little bit. Had 3 hits against the Rockies. But the power is there. He's hit the top of the wall twice. He's hit the wall like 3 times in general. So his power is there. He could already have 3 home runs, and it will come. I could see him hitting 30 home runs easily. A guy I compared him to, a guy we all know as well, Mike Piazza. Big catcher. And that is the same thing that Joey Bart is. Great arm like Piazza, great power like Piazza. Maybe a Gary Carter comparison. I don't know. Joey Bart, we've seen him. I'm really in love with this guy. I'm going to get his jersey for sure. And a guy that we should all get to know a little more because he is going to be here forever. I don't see him going down to the minor leagues ever again. And that is your 30 prospects. I went through them all. Like I said, watch the previous video I did. I'll link it down below, the 30 to 16. This was 15-1. And they're all done. Boom. All the notes. Done. That was a lot of fun to do. I got to know all these prospects. Hopefully you guys got a little more research on them. And to all these guys that you'll see in the near future. If you have any other videos that you want me to do, please let me know in the comments because I would love to do them. I might do a prospect video for the major leagues in general. Maybe like the top 20 would be probably what I'll do. I don't want to do top 100. Maybe top 20 in the MLB. I could do that as well. I'm really excited. I love prospects. I love talking prospects. So that is what I will do. Let me know in the comments. And please subscribe, like, tell your friends. Share this video with any Giants fans, Dodger fans, I don't care, baseball fans. Share them with anybody you like. Subscribe. Love you guys. Go Giants.